second DAP Informational of 2023. It is crazy to me that it's already almost the end of March. It's one of those one of those years that keeps going. But I'm glad you guys are here. You've got myself, JD, your digital marketing and technologies manager, and Tracy is here. Tracy, you want to wave real quick? Your president of marketing for Schmidt Family of Companies, and we're here today to do a DAP informational to tell you guys a little bit about Digital Accelerator, whether it's your first time hearing it or whether it is you've been interested in it a while but want some more details. So we're going to kind of really dive in as to why we started this, what the goals of the program are, what the goals of the program are not, and then also kind of what our packages are, of course, and then the right candidate. Because from the get-go, one of the things that Tracy and I are always like to say is that this is not a numbers game for us. This is not let's get the most people in and see how many clients we can have. This is about making sure this is a good fit for you as an agent that's going to help your business and help you grow. So the first thing I want to talk about, like I mentioned, is I want to talk about why we started this, where this came from. So I'll try to do a shorter version because I don't want to take up too much time with this part. But essentially, we came up with this because we kept being asked for something like this. We had I always joke that from day one, I've been here almost 7 years now, and from day one, I have had people saying, can you do my social media for me? Can you do this? Can someone do this? Because it's a big need. And a lot of people kind of fall into two different categories is I don't know how to do this stuff. I don't know how to do social media management or digital marketing, or I don't have time to do it. My business is getting to a point where I've got so many clients and so many listings, which is good. You want to, that's the goal, right? But then you want to have somebody come in and help with that stuff. You want to make sure that you're not losing that digital presence. I remember talking to an agent in Traverse City. Oh gosh, I think it was even pre-pandemic at this point, but they were a new agent, and they were saying that they marketed themselves like crazy for that first year, trying to, plaster themselves out there, get their face out there, get their ads out there, and then finally, within about 2 weeks of each of them, they got 2 listings. Their first 2 listings within 2 weeks. They were excited. They were listing them and stuff, and the whole process from list to close took however many weeks. But they said they were telling this after the fact. They said, during those 2 months, 6 weeks or so, I stopped marketing completely. I was so focused on those 2 listings and getting them through and providing great service that when I came back, I essentially had no marketing that I had been doing for 2 months and almost felt like I was starting from scratch. And so, you'll hear us say this time and time again. Consistency is one of, if not the most important part of marketing. You can't do something once and expect the results. You can't do something twice and expect the results. It is the consistency, whether it's digital, print, in person, newsletters, mailers, whatever. So to address the consistency aspect of it, and then to also make sure that we were, there's also a third prong. The third prong was from day one, month one, I've had so many agents email me, hey, I got this email from this third-party company. Are they legit? Hey, this company reached out. They said they can do my digital marketing. Are they any good? And I'd look at these emails, and I always share this, but I remember one time after doing a DAP informational, I got an email from a third-party company, and their starting package was $1,400 a month. And when you broke it down, it actually provided less than our $250 package. I literally printed them out and redlined through things. I'm like, that's just fluff. That doesn't mean anything. And then ours actually had ads involved. Theirs had no actual advertising. But there were so many third-party companies. Some of them are awesome and really legit. Some of them don't really focus on real estate. They just do social media. Some of them are real estate ones that don't know how to do the social media part. I wanted there to be a service that was business effective, that understood real estate, and that could keep your businesses going and marketed. And so Tracy and I put a lot of effort into this to create what is called DAP. DAP stands for Digital Accelerator Program. We call it DAP because too many syllables. You'll notice we call our digital marketers DAPPers, just so in case we ever switch that verbiage up, that's who I'm talking about. So we created this Digital Accelerator Program with 2 goals in mind. 1, we wanted it to be cost effective, because we knew how some of the other companies were inflating stuff. And 2, we wanted there to be actual business value for our agents. Because some of these third-party companies, they want you in the subscription and they want you to just pay and go. like $50 a month, $300 a month. Well, something's happening, I guess, but no actual results. So we built this with accountability in mind, with real estate in mind, all of these things. And what we're going to talk about today is that program and the features and what's involved with it. But my favorite part of DAP, truly, is that from the get-go, the biggest difference between this and a different third-party company is that a lot of these third-party companies, when you sign up for them, they say, okay, great, give us, here's a checklist. Tell us the content that you like. Do you like gardening? Do you like home ownership? Do you like, you have, kids that you want? And they basically, you fill out a little checklist and then they go, great, that's the kind of content that we're going to start sharing. And that's it. That is the interaction you have with them. And if you have a question, there's a chat bot or an email you can go to. But that is your digital marketing relationship. The difference with DAP from the get-go is this. If every digital marketer on this call, can you guys turn your cameras on right now? This is the part, I only embarrass them for like 60 seconds. But if you guys could all turn your cameras on real quick. Okay. These are your digital marketers. I don't know why Mia's just zoomed in so dramatically, but I loved it. That was awesome. These are your digital marketers. These are the people that when you sign up for DAP, we'll talk about this, we'll go into this later, but Tracy will onboard you, and then she and I have a conversation about who the right fit is, and then you get connected with one of these people as your point person. So if I say, hey, this is Lindsay, she's your digital marketer, she's your go-to. You have her phone number, you have her email. If you have questions, you reach out to that person. So we've got, I'm just going to go through names real quick. Sarah, Lindsay, Nicole, Mia, Mara, Susie, Maddie. Lindsay Bach is on here too, who does our commercial. There she is. Lindsay's on here. These are the digital marketers. When you sign up for DAP, you work with one of these people. That in and of itself is already vastly different than any other digital marketing program because you know who you work with and you have a person to reach out to if you have a question. So that in and of itself is step one. Now, you guys can turn your cameras off. Thank you for letting me embarrass you for a half second. But I didn't ask you to turn your mics on or ask any fun questions. So that's step one, is that you get connected with a digital marketer, that you have their contact info. We work business hours, but you have our emails, and if you have a question or an idea at 11:30 at night on a Saturday, you send that through. And then come Monday, we're going to take a look at that and work with you on that. But you've got a direct line to your digital marketer. There's not a form. There's not some wall in between that. You have your person. So that's already part one, is that you get to work with somebody else. And then part two is that this was built, again, not just for real estate in mind, but for our Schmidt family of company agents in mind. This is meant for you guys. This is meant for leveraging brand assets, leveraging the brand branding across the board, and then really specifically branding toward you. So this is one of my favorite stories because we do the opposite in DAP. Is that it was 5-6 years ago at this point, but it was a Saturday morning. I had my phone out. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I saw a post from an agent, and it was just a cute little 15-second video, and it was like, I had like a little joke on it, blah, 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 and it had some text in it. And then at the end, it had their contact info, right? John Smith, Coldwell Banker, Woodland Schmidt, et cetera, et cetera. So no joke, literally the next post on my phone, as I scrolled to the next post, was the exact same post with the exact same copy, with the only difference being that the agent's info at the end was different. Two of our agents in two offices right next to each other were paying the same third-party company, which is, that in and of itself is not a problem. The problem was that this company was posting the same content at the same time with no difference between person A and person B besides their contact info at the end. When we do DAP, when you look at some of the stuff we're going to share as examples, we build stuff custom to you, unique to you. What we look at for person A is going to look completely different than what we do for person B. The only thing that we cross over is actual marketing techniques and ad formats that work well. If one of our agents said, hey, or one of our DAPers said, hey, this ad format worked really well, we're going to try to mimic that idea, that messaging, but it's going to be completely different for you, because ultimately what we want are your unique results coming through for you directly. So the uniqueness factor is already different. The fact that you have a person you're talking to is already different. Let's actually take a look at what the programs themselves are, what the levels are. So I'm going to share my screen quick here, and probably unsurprisingly for most of you, you can find more about DAP in Schmidt Resources. Surprise, surprise, I know, it's crazy. So if you go to Schmidt Resource, you click on any region, it's right here in the front row. Whoa, that was an accident, but it worked really well. The Digital Accelerator Packages square. So this square is where we're going to spend most of our time today. There's a lot of information in here, but I think of it, because you guys know, if you know me, you know that my brain works very scattered. The other thing that we'll circle. Doesn't matter. We'll get there eventually. So on this page, you can see all of our different programs. We have our Getting Started and Ignite, which we're going to talk about. We have our 4 different package levels, which we're going to talk about. We have info on what makes an ideal DAP candidate. And then we have the form as well for if you're interested, for you to fill in the form and get connected with a digital marketer. So we're going to go through these in a little bit, but I think the thing that I want to start with first is what is DAP? What is the value prop? Why is this so important? And some stuff like that. So I think the first thing that Tracy and I always try to drill down is that Digital Accelerator is not a lead generation program. We do not. This is a digital marketing program. It is a branding program. Some packages do have lead gen aspects to them, but as you can see down here when we get to it, we say that is about 10% of what the program is made up of, and there are a few things that are dependent on that being possible. So the one thing, if you're thinking we want you guys to get out of your head from the get-go, is that this is not a lead gen program. There are oftentimes games of telephone that happens, and we had an agent call once and say, hey, I want to know more about that lead accelerator program. And we said, actually, it's not called that. It's called Digital Accelerator, but we were already starting from a different point, so the expectations were already different. So step one is that this is not a lead gen program. The other parts that we want to talk about down here, let me actually zoom in a little bit so you can. Wow, that zoomed in really well. So what is DAP? It is not, and we use the term digital marketing because it's not just social media. It's beyond just social media. But it's a digital marketing program that is about 50% focused on brand reputation. What brand reputation means is, how are you seen by the consumer? How are you perceived in terms of consistency, in terms of messaging, and in terms of your unique selling proposition. DAP is about 40% focused on actually marketing listings, sold, open houses, local market stats, which are huge right now. But basically the content that you deliver to your digital marketer, hey, here's my new listing, or hey, here's some stats I got, can you use these for social media, stuff like that. But when we are able to do those things together, because those are the most important pieces of marketing. Because I always tell agents, your listings, in theory, perfect world, are going to go active and then go pending. You're going to list them and then they're going to get sold. You are the brand. When we talk about branding and marketing yourself, we're talking about you. You, the agent, are the bedrock of your business. You need to be in the content. You cannot be a secret agent, because then how do you grow your business in a public industry, in an industry where it is based on agents and referrals and marketing and all of these things? So that's why the majority, when we look at the breakdown 50, 40, and 10, that's why the biggest number is focused on brand reputation, because we want to make sure that your face, your branding is getting out there in your market. And one of the ways we're able to do that is with listings and solds and open houses and ad campaigns like that. And when we're successful with both of those two things, we're able to generate lead opportunities. Now, let's be very clear what we mean by a lead opportunity. That means somebody who has expressed interest in your listing, in your services, in something that you have to offer based off of the ad campaigns that we've run. Some of the ads that we do have a direct lead gen focus, which means that's the goal of that campaign. But remember that a lead is an unqualified consumer, which means that you as the agent must know how to work that lead. You must know how to reach back out, how to put them on drip campaigns, or what questions to ask to get them from a lead opportunity into a prospect and then into an actual buyer or seller. So we will help generate, that's our goal, right? We're here to execute the campaigns to help generate the leads. But when the reins are handed over to you, you need to make sure that you know, whether working with your broker or through experience, how to reach out to those leads. Now, the National Association of Realtors says that the average lead, and I believe it might not just be online, it might just be online, but I think it might be leads across the board, take between 6 to 24 months to incubate. So some leads that you get in your system will literally take 2 years until they are ready to buy or sell. But the thing that we always say is that the only thing you could ever consider a dead lead is a lead that specifically says, I want to be taken off this campaign. Please unsubscribe me. Anything else is not a dead lead. I share this story in almost every training where it's relevant, at least, where my parents tried to sell their home in 2012, which was not the best time to try to do that. Didn't work. They got one offer, lowball, canceled it, whatever. But their agent at the time put them on their monthly newsletter. And fast forward to 2018, I'm at my parents' house for lunch, and my dad says, "Oh, our agent sent us another newsletter with like a home evaluation thing in there, and we might reach back out and see if he's got anything, if it's worth selling or what our home is worth." And I said, first of all, you're not going to do that because he works for KW and your son works for Schmidt Family of Company. So let's cross that part right away. Cross that part off right away. But secondly, it was, and I followed up with my dad later because I'm like, I'm sorry, I need to use you for work now. But I said, how long have you been on that newsletter? And he goes, since we originally listed our home, which was 2011 or 2012. And I asked him, did you ever respond to that newsletter? Like reply back. And he said, not that I can think of. So for 6 or 7 years, he was on a monthly newsletter, never responded, would open it, maybe not interact with it or respond to it, but was getting ready to call that person back 6-7 years later and list their home. Now again, I was the one that came in and stopped that from happening. But my point is that I've had agents before say that if they call a lead or they email a lead and they don't get a response within 7 days, they take that lead out of their CRM or they take them off any campaigns. That is not a best practice. Keep every client on a campaign, on a lead. We have had clients in DAP agents in DAP literally get 2 listings from one client in 72 hours. The ad was on a Tuesday. They reached out to the client on Thursday, and by Saturday, they were listing 2 properties, a home and a parcel of land. We've had some agents. I had an agent who's been in the program for, I want to say, a year and a half, 2 years now, just this past December say, one of my leads from spring just converted. It was about 8 months from when the lead came in through DAP to when it converted. So all this to say is that when the leads come in, you are starting the long haul. You are starting that conversation. It could be a week. It could be 2 years, but don't discount them just because they don't respond right away. So when we're able to market or advertise you as the agent, when we're able to advertise our listing, your listings, your solds, your open houses, your local content and market stats, that's when we're able to generate leads effectively. So that's kind of a breakdown of what the program is. What I want to do now is go through the actual kind of levels themselves before we go into sort of like what the ideal candidate is. Are there any questions so far? Trace, anything you want to add before we dive into package levels? I can't see any faces, so I don't know if you shake your head. Okay, got it. Cool, thank you.
Yeah, I was shaking my head. I would just, again, there was a lot of time spent on leads right there, but I really got to tell you guys, this is not about the leads, and I know we're talking about that, but not a leads generation program. This is about marketing and advertising you and your business, and leads are just something that happens when you do effective marketing and advertising. So emphasis, not leads, emphasis on marketing and advertising.
Yes, exactly. And one of the other value adds, I don't think I have a normal slot for this in this walkthrough, but one of the other value adds that, because sometimes agents have been focused on the leads, they say, well, what's the value outside of that? The value is the consistency. When you work with a digital marketer, when you sign up for a DAP program, you don't have to worry about content being posted to your page. You don't have to worry about ad campaigns being run on Google or Facebook and Instagram. That's all being done for you now. So half the value add is the fact that somebody else is doing it for you. You don't have to worry about it. You can check in on the content if you want. We have some agents who love to see stuff before it's posted, some who like to look at it after. But the other value add is that you've got professionals doing your ad campaigns. You've got people whose literal jobs are digital marketing. There are some people who have said, I know how to do ads. I know how to figure it out. That's awesome. And if you know how to do it, then you should do it, right? We're not here to try to take that away. However, what our team does, again, we have degrees in this. We have experience in this. We're running effective ad campaigns. And I want to share one of my favorite points about that is we had an agent once who was just like, hey, who was kind of questioning, are my ads even doing well? And we'll talk about accountability as we go, but I wanted to share this because we did some deep dive onto some of these ads, and it was some really, really cool stuff. So I want to pull this email up. So this is just for one agent who was in the Plus program for looking at the stats of 2022. But they had, let me see where it goes. So on Facebook alone, I believe this is, yeah. So on Facebook, this client's ads were seen over 40,000 times on Facebook and Instagram in their market, and were clicked on 7,342 times. Now, numbers are great and stuff. Let's break that down into what that could actually mean. The average click-through rate on Facebook, meaning if someone sees an ad versus how many times they click on it, that math is called the click-through rate. The average click-through rate on Facebook is 0.9%. So less than 1 out of every 100 ads on Facebook are actually clicked on. This client's for 2022, 18%. So literally over 18 times more than the national average. Looking at this person's Google ads, in 2022, their Google ad was seen over 122,000 times. The average Google click-through rate was 1.91%, so just under 2%. This client's click-through rate, 3.15%. The reason I share that is because it's not just that it's being executed on like it is, but it's being executed on by people who know what they're doing and are experts in that field. When we look at the stats for 2022, it blows my mind every time. Since we started Digital Accelerator, I should say, our ads have been seen over 10.2 million times for our agents across our regions, 10.2 million times. And we generated almost 25,000 leads in 2022 alone. Now that's just one stat. The thing that I love to focus on the most is that what we're doing is better than the national average. Not only in every industry, but real estate specifically. I love comparing those stats and seeing those. So part of the value add, guys, is that you've got clients or digital marketers who know what they're doing and are running awesome campaigns specifically built to get those clicks, to get leads if it's a lead gen ad, but really to put you out there. So let's talk about the different programs and the different packages we have. Because these are digital marketing programs, having digital marketing platforms set up is a pretty vital part of the process. So some clients come in and they go, hey, I have a Facebook page or I have this, but I don't know what I'm doing with it. Or I haven't used it in 10 years or this or that or the other. So what we created was something called, was our Getting Started package. The Getting Started package is a one-time fee that you can do for Digital Accelerator, with a Digital Accelerator program. But it's a one-time fee where we're basically going to either set up or refresh, or a bit of both, your social marketing and your digital marketing platforms. So if you have a Facebook business page, we're going to make sure it's compliant. We're going to add some new graphics, make sure all the info is correct. If you don't, we're going to build one for you. We're going to build you a Facebook business page, professional, everything compliant, everything in line for you to use. We're going to do the same thing with a business Instagram. We're going to set up a Google business listing for you. We're going to make sure testimonial tree is set up so reviews are being fed appropriately. And we're going to do a custom Moxie website or homepage for your website. So if you have Moxie set up, you have the kind of templated one, great. If you haven't really touched it at all, great. We're going to go in and we're going to make a custom web page just for you. We're going to help you connect your domain. So maybe you went online and bought, jdsellshomes.com or something like that. We're going to make sure that points to your Moxie site. And then we're going to make sure that listing to leads is set up effectively, because what we can do now is we can set up listing to leads so that the leads generated there flow right into Moxie Engage, so that you don't have to download a CSV file and upload another one and this and that or the other. It's going to be a direct feed. And then we're also going to give you overviews just to make sure you're aware of BombBomb and HomeHub, because those are both two tools that are great value adds, not just for you as an agent, but for your clients, to make sure you're giving them the perfect full service suite of opportunity and marketing that you can do for them. So we're going to do all of that stuff, and then we're going to get started on whichever program you are interested in, presence or social presence, web presence, plus or premium. Some agents come in and they say, hey, listen, I feel like I'm pretty equipped to do social web plus or premium, to do the digital marketing myself, the posting, the ads or whatever, but my stuff is so out of whack that I really just need this taken. I need it all set up for me so that I can then take it from there. So what we've built in response to that question is the Ignite program. You see it up there. It says, looking to refresh your digital marketing platforms. Do you need them set up in the first place? Ignite might be right for you. Ignite is the exact same as Getting Started, except it's not connected to a DAP program. You can do it one and done. It has all the same features, but we also have a really, really cool PDF, marketing tips and tricks PDF. That's like 6 or 7 pages that the DAP team put together. That's really powerful and effective to not just go, okay, bye, here's your stuff back, but here's your stuff back, and now here's how you can leverage that. So that's $150, and if you click right here in the banner, it's literally going to take you to the marketplace where you can purchase, put it in your cart, purchase it, and go from there. So that's the Ignite program, and what's really fun is that we've had people sign up for Ignite and unsurprisingly go, hey, I actually really loved working with Mia, or I really loved working with Maddie. I want to do a DAP program now. If that's the case, if you do Ignite at the $150 and then want to sign up for a DAP program later, we're going to take $50 off your first month to make sure that you're getting the same price for Getting Started as you would for as you would as if you had done Getting Started. So even if you pay the $150 higher, if you go, you know what, this has been great, and then you sign up for social presence, your first month's going to get those $50 knocked off so that it all comes out to the same. So Ignite and Getting Started are built around making sure that you are prepared and set up to digitally market. But I mentioned this earlier that these custom sites are built just that, custom. So I want to share with you just a few examples of some of the sites that our agents have built, because sometimes clients come in and they know exactly what they're looking for and they kind of give us some inspiration and we go from there. And some agents go, you know what, I don't know what I'm looking for exactly, so we'll build you a draft first and then we'll go from there. So let me pull over some of these examples here. Just a few of our agents' DAP sites, or Moxie homepages. So we've got a beautiful video here on this one. This agent's kind of catchphrase, if you will, or slogan they want on the site. Some of these custom searches, featured properties, reviews, a bio, some useful links, some really, really great stuff. Now let's take a look at the next custom site. Completely different, custom to this agent. Custom to this agent and their marketing and their vibes and whatever they're looking for. Let's go to the third one. Same thing, different day, right? A custom site for this agent and their marketing and their branding to match what they want their marketing to look like and what it has done historically. It's not like, well, we have a template and we plug your info in and boom, now it's specific. No. We take your info, your style, your uniqueness, your unique selling proposition, and build the marketing around that. So, any questions on Ignite or Getting Started before we move down to the packages themselves? Okay, all right, beautiful. So, we have, as of right now, 4 different packages. And I say as of right now because one of the things we do is we listen to what our agents are asking. We say, hey, we used to just have the 3. Web presence didn't exist. And then we had client agents saying, hey, I'd really love a package that just focuses on the website part of it, or that just focuses on this. So we went and built that package so that now there are more options. There are 4 now, there could be 3 later, there could be 5 later, could stay 4, who knows? But let's break down what these packages are. So the first 2 we have are the presence levels. I'm trying to make sure I'm zooming in far enough. There we go, are the presence levels. The presence levels are basically one, as you can see, as social, and one you can see as web. The social one obviously focuses on social media. So what you can see here, 4 to 5 weekly posts on on Facebook, 2 to 3 on Instagram, making sure your Google business listing is updated and maintenance if you have stuff you want. Changed or edited, we'll take care of that. Up to 2 targeted social media campaigns. And if you have listings that we're leveraging for that, we're going to build custom landing pages for those listings to help generate those leads and deliver up to 15 lead opportunities monthly. Now, of course, you see there are some asterisks there. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But one thing that's really important for all of these levels, guys, is that this is the price. You're not spending $1 more. You're not spending a penny more. All of these programs, one of the things that I've noticed that sets these apart compared to other companies is that actual ad campaigns are included in these programs. So some of these, I see this big long list of stuff, and then you look at it, they're not even doing ad campaigns for you. Or if they are, it's an extra this much money per month or something like that. All of our residential programs include ad campaigns, and you're never paying a penny more, $1 more than what you see. $250, $500, $750, we'll keep going, $999. All of these include ad spend in the packages themselves. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the web presence program. The web presence program is kind of the other half of that. So it is the website part of it. We're going to make sure that your Moxie website is fully managed. So not only are we going to do the custom homepage, but we're going to do custom searches and custom community pages. So for example, we had one agent who wanted a page, they had their custom homepage, but then they wanted one specifically about short sales and foreclosures. We're going to build that out for you. It's not just going to be, well, you got your homepage, that's it. Nope. We're going to build out home pages or custom pages for anything that you're looking for. Custom communities. Let me see this one, Upper Peninsula waterfront property. We're going to build custom searches. We're going to build pages that have extra content, whether it's a charity that you work with a lot. Maybe it's a cause that's near and dear to your heart. Maybe it's something like that. I had an agent we made a page based on 1031 exchanges for international clients, right? They're like, hey, I have this info. Can we build a page for this? Absolutely. We go in and build an awesome page. So the web presence has that. It's got making sure testimonial tree is configured and put on your site. So not only are they rotating on the main page, but they have the SEO, you don't need to get into SEO stuff, but the search engine optimization of all the testimonial tree stuff. Google Screened, if you want to know more about Google Screened, will help you set that up. Now, Google Screened is basically a new ad campaign format that you can do through Google where you show up like this. Your headshot shows up, your reviews show up. You get a big green check mark that says Google Screened. It's awesome. We've looked into it a lot to try to do it for our clients, but part of being able to be Google Screened is actually filling out a background check and from Google and having business insurance and making sure you have enough reviews, all these things. And it's just not something we were able to feasibly do. So we're going to show you how to do it if it's something you want. It is an ad campaign. It is a paid thing that you have to do. So we'll show you that. We'll go through all the information for you with it. And if you want it, awesome. We'll help you set it up. And if you don't, then great. But the other thing that we're going to do in the web presence program is, if I find it's got a sliver, is a Google ad campaign for direct website traffic. Now, a lot of Google ad campaigns are not lead gen specific. That's not their goal. The goal of this ad is to get clicks to your site, to drive clients to your website, to improve your branding, and to really, really put yourself out there in that market. So, moving on to the Plus program, it's all that in a bag of chips. It's the web presence side, it's the social presence side, it's all put into one. So you've got the postings on Facebook and Instagram, Google business listing maintenance and updates, Google Screened, full Moxie website management, but on top, and then we'll go on here to the ad campaigns, right? We'll do 3 targeted ad campaigns a month. We'll try to deliver up to 30 lead opportunities as long as the other factors we'll talk about later are included. Custom landing pages. So you get both sides of that, but you also get a beautiful monthly curated and distributed newsletter to your clients. So I'm going to try to get an example of that up. It's one thing I didn't ask the team, but I think I have one that I can share real quick. But we'll build, again, custom newsletters for you, and we'll send them out from Moxie on your behalf. And let me see the link that I can get up real quick here as an example, because they're not just plug and play. They're not just, okay, here's a photo for you, call it a day. Here's one right here. I don't know why it's not doing what I need it to do, but I'm just going to scroll down. And hopefully it's going to show up even from after the Moxie transition. Yeah. So we've got custom graphics, reviews, an award that this agent won, their branding across the board. It's not just, again, hey, here's my headshot, here's a form, click this, fill it out. It's custom to the content they want, the listings you want, and all of your branding. Every newsletter is going to look vastly different than the others. And one of my favorite stories is that it goes without saying that in general, newsletters are not lead generating, right? That's not the goal of a newsletter, because you're sending newsletters generally to your sphere to stay top of mind. It's sphere of influence marketing. We had an agent actually get a new lead / referral from a newsletter because they sent it to their to their clients. And one of the clients' buddies was like looking for a realtor, so they forwarded the newsletter to their friend, and the friend called our agent and said, "Hey, my buddy so and so sent me your newsletter. It looks awesome. I'd love for a chance to sit down and talk about listing my home." So the quality of the newsletters is such that it is sometimes generating new deals because of the quality, the content, and the professionalism of them. So even the things that aren't lead generating, even the things that are sphere marketing, are still bringing in new business, and more importantly, keeping recurring business coming back to you. Current clients, sphere of influence, referrals, stuff like that. So the final program over here is the premium program. So all of the things that are in the other 3 levels are all included here, but this program is really designed more for luxury designated agents or teams of 3+. So that's really where this premium package comes into play. It has all of the digital, all of the social media, all of the website stuff. All of it's going to have kind of like a luxury spin to it to make sure that it's reflecting your team and your branding and the luxury kind of high-end content, from the website to the social media to everything. But again, it's going to have more ad campaigns. It's going to have more, not a higher Google ad campaign, more social media, Facebook and Instagram campaigns, and everything is going to be curated towards the sort of luxury content that you are looking for. So you'll see at the bottom here that these prices are based on current competitive ad platform rates. What we mean by that is that it's not just something we're slapping and going, well, again, hey, this is recurring, I guess someone's going to sign up for this. This is built on not making sure that our ads exist. It's making sure that the ads are competitive and effective in what they're trying to do. So one of the factors of DAP that also doesn't always, that you don't see in other programs is the accountability part of it. So one of the asterisks you see on all 4 of these is a commitment for a monthly Zoom call or a monthly Google Hangout call. But what we ask is that from you as the agent, from one of the things we ask for is that you meet with your DAPper once a month. Sometimes because of the month it ends up being a phone call. Sometimes it's a 10-minute Zoom call. Sometimes it's half an hour. You've got a lot of questions or concerns or you want more explanation. But we ask that you touch base with us at least once a month so that we can go over that, making sure that we're on the same page with what's going on. So what you're going to see here, a monthly report for Digital Accelerator. I think this agent is on here. Rob, shout out to you, man. But what we give you each month is an example, or not an example, we give you a sheet of here's what we've done for you this month to make sure you see every single thing that's being done for your digital marketing. We show you examples of your ads and how many times they've been seen and the results. 89 leads generated for this 1 month alone, 602 potential buyers, 51.8 thousand engagements on this agent's ads across Facebook and Instagram and Google. This is insane. And one of the reasons we do this is, one, so that we can show you, hey, here's what we've been doing. But the other one is that we have agents ask us, hey, can you send me, I think Susie's on the call. Susie and I had an agent email us, I want to say a month and a half ago, and said, can you send me my past 6 or 7 months worth of DAP reports? I'm going on a listing appointment and I want to show this potential client what kind of marketing I do. So this agent walked in with 6 of those reports and said, this is what I do when I list a home. I have a digital marketer on my team who markets your property expertly across the local markets. So not only do you get to see what's going on, but you get to show your clients, here's the kind of stuff that we do. Honestly, I think someone sent me this one as well. Here's the stuff that we do for your ads, or for your listings across the board. All of these things we did, here are the ads for the listings, and here are the results, so that you know what's going on with your digital marketing. I want to show a couple other examples too of what some of the branding ads look like. Because when we do a listing ad, the listing ads are going to be focused on the listings, right? They're going to be the home photos of the home, a couple of banners, but the branding ads themselves vary across the board because, like we said, they're all dependent on you and your unique selling prop. So here's one for one of our agents. Their marketing, their style, their branding. Here's a different one, completely different style, has them on it. I love them actually being on the box, as the real specialist. I love that idea, but it's completely different than the other one. Again, it's not like some template that we have that we go, okay, this is what it needs to look like. Great, we're good to go. I feel like there might have been, I know that I was asking the team to send me all these things during the beginning of this call, so I want to make sure I pull up all the ones that I have, but your ads, your branding ads are going to look different than anybody else's. And I mean anybody else in your office, but also anybody else in your market across the board. So here's another one for those same people, putting them on the Snowbird Specialist billboard. And then one more I have here to share. Let me find it. Whoops, nope, don't share it like that, JD. Just pull it up like this. Again, completely different to this agent's branding. So one question that we get, one thing we get asked a lot for people who want to join DAP is they'll say, can you send me examples of the kind of ads that you run, the kind of sites that you build? And we'll always do that, but the thing to always remember is that that's not what yours are going to look like, because yours are going to look like you and what you want your branding to be. And some agents come in, they don't really know what kind of branding they want. So we help them find that. We help them fine tune what they're, how to incorporate the Coldwell Banker part of it or whatever your brokerage is to make sure that it reflects your personality and what you're trying to give off. We'll help you find that as we go, because all of these digital marketers are all also expert graphic designers. They're the whole package. They do everything for you for your marketing. So any questions on the program levels themselves or getting started or Ignite? Because the last thing we're going to go into right now is the sort of ideal candidate for DAP. Beautiful. Wonderful. Okay. Let's keep going here. So the last part that I want to talk about is who is an ideal candidate for DAP, meaning who is this program built for? And we talked about this a little bit earlier in terms of what kind of like I know how to do it, but I don't want to do it, or I don't know how to do it. Like, that's a big part of it. But we also have a few more like drilled down things like this. So number one, for social and web presence packages specifically, those first two, the ideal candidate really just has everything set up. Whether they did Ignite, maybe they did Getting Started, or maybe you've set it all up on your own. But for social and web, these packages can be ideal for new agents. We used to really kind of stray away from that, but the more we've been in the program, the more we've been doing it, we kind of felt like, you know what? There is a lot of value add there to establish your digital marketing, to establish your branding in that market, or in your market. For Plus and Premium, we say the ideal candidate has at least a year in real estate and has listed and sold some properties and kind of knows what they're doing there. But in general, the main thing that's important for this program is that you feel like you can commit to the program, because we've said this before. Marketing. Whoa, hey buddy, come here. Sorry, come here, Buddha. Come here. Pluto.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump in while JD's taking care of the pup. It sounds like a pup, doesn't it?
It's a big pup. He's staying with me for a week while his other foster is on spring break, but he's a hefty boy. But go ahead, Trace.
Every dog to me is a pup.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
When we go through those, what's an ideal candidate? The really important aspect of this is when you're practicing real estate, you're working with buyers, you're working with sellers. We tend to get a clearer voice from that agent who has practiced real estate versus who's net new to the business, right? So when we say for social presence and web presence, we'll take on new agents, we absolutely will. Net new agents to the business, but we're going to try to really pull hard and help them with some buyer and seller messages. But when you get at the plus level and the premium level, we're really looking for an established voice. You guys have your way of speaking to buyers. You guys have your way of speaking to sellers. You know what you like and you don't like as it relates to your design elements. Like, we're looking for a clear voice because this program is collaborative. And that means your digital marketer is an expert in digital marketing. You're the expert in real estate. They don't practice real estate, and you're not the expert at digital marketing. So you can see why that collaboration has to come through for the program to be truly successful. So that's really why we put out this ideal candidate type of thing, because we do have agents who come and go, well, I don't know, what should I say? Well, I don't know what I should say to a seller. Well, they're not ready for this program, right? You need to be a little bit more established within your business to be able to have a point of view. All right? Okay, back to you, JD.
Well, and the other part to that, from the collaboration aspect, is that I've said this a bunch already, that what sets us apart is that we learn your voice. We do your unique marketing to make sure things look like you and sound like you. The only way we're able to do that is interacting with you. So when we do our onboarding calls, when we do our monthly calls that we say up here, a monthly meeting per month, whether it's on Zoom or phone or Hangout, The reason we do that is so that A, we can show you the accountability that what we're doing and stuff, but B, to make sure that we understand what it is you are looking for, and making sure that your marketing is consistent with you, and hearing, oh, this looks great or this doesn't look great. This is maybe more what I'm thinking. Because one thing we'll always say is you're not going to hurt our digital marketers' feelings if you critique something. If you have if they send you a draft and you go, oh, I don't really love this, say that to them. They want to do what's best for you. They want you to love all the things you're doing. But part of that, again, is responding and collaborating. So whether that is making sure that you are sending listings as they go live, or if you find an office listing in your office that you're able to leverage for marketing and you have the listing agent's permission, sending that to your digital marketer. Sometimes it's literally an email or a text. It's just like, hey, JD, 123 Main Street is live. Can you please do an ad for it? So that's all we need. From there, we can take all of that stuff and run that campaign and create it and go from there. But we need to know that part of it before we're able to do that. So when we talk about the collaboration, we talk about doing the Zoom calls, we talk about showing up for them. We know as well as you guys do, real estate is a wild business, and sometimes you have meetings scheduled, nothing's going to go wrong, and then 2 minutes later, you're out the door going to a listing appointment or something like that. All we ask is that you try as hard as you can to show up for the meetings you have scheduled, and if you can't, to just send a text. Hey JD, I'm not going to be able to make it. Can we reschedule? We try to do these meetings the best way for you. I've had clients before who want a recurring meeting, same day, the 26th of each month at 1, or the first Thursday at 10 a.m. each month. Sometimes it's just making sure that we schedule at the end of each meeting, but what's important is that we stay connected. Because what happens when there's not that connection is that the marketing doesn't reflect the agent, and that's where things can start to get a little volatile. So consistency in your marketing and the consistency in the collaboration are the two biggest factors to a successful DAP stint or a really relationship with your digital marketer. We have clients in DAP who signed up the first month we had this offered and are still in the program because they love what it's doing for their business. They've upgraded packages to make sure they're getting even more for it. But we've had people who have been in it from day one, and we've had people who have dropped out after the 6 months or a little bit after, and sometimes it's because of financial commitments, which we always understand, and sometimes it's because the collaboration wasn't there, because we weren't hearing from them, the digital marketer wasn't getting responses, and then things start to kind of crack a little bit. But collaboration, when collaboration is there between the client and between the digital marketer, I try not to be hyperbolic, so I believe this to be true. When that collaboration is there, this program is successful 100% of the time. It really, truly is.
JD, let's work on pulling up a couple of testimonials or
yes. I'll share I have my favorite testimonial.
So you guys, as JD's pulling up this testimony, I want to really kind of dive into what this real value is. Okay, so as licensed realtors, I'm a licensed realtor. I practiced real estate for over 10 years, right? Probably haven't been in the business as long as some of you, but Becky, Borche, Ron, I see you guys on here today. One of the things that we have to be really mindful of in real estate, in a very competitive environment that we're in real estate, is that we need to constantly be marketing and advertising ourselves, right? Constantly marketing and advertising our clients, our seller clients, because we are interviewed digitally before we sometimes ever even get invited to the table, right? Yep. So everything we put out there, photography, videography, what is our messaging? Are we talking about what's happening in the market? Are we really presenting ourselves as an active real estate agent out there for hire who knows what they're doing and is working hard for their clients? So we have to constantly be marketing ourselves, marketing our business, advertising our clients for their properties for sale, and getting ads out there. A lot of people think social media marketing is just posting, and posting is great. We're going to do posts for you as well. But when you start to bring in ads and ad spend, now you're hitting a much larger market that you otherwise wouldn't have connected with. So super, super, super important to be consistent and constantly out there marketing yourself. And that's really the value that comes to this program. When you say you're going to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. And we have agents that do it themselves, and they're super consistent. Okay. But when you hire us to do it, we're going to ensure that the consistency is there, and each of those things that we say we're going to do in that program happen every 30 days. We're doing it all. So you get to put that right out of your headspace and go focus on your seller and buyer clients, right? Go work your networking options. Go work out in your communities. Be out there actively present in your business while we keep you actively present in the digital world. Absolutely. So when you're going on a listing appointment, part of your value proposition is now that you have a digital marketer on your team. That's another layer of value to this program, right? Is that you have a digital marketer on your team, seller, who's going to advertise your property to the largest amount of available buyers, right? So if you hear this theme that's happening when it comes down to the value is your digital marketer, right? So that importance of collaboration with that digital marketer and letting them into your business and giving them what they need, which is your voice, and letting them know when you have a new listing, a sold, you want to do a market analysis and you gathered the content, but you need it out there. What's the best avenue to do that, right? Keep that going, because that digital marketer is your value proposition in this program. They know exactly what to do and they're going to do it for you. Okay, now, and I'm going to go back because I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record, but it's not a leads program. Your digital marketer is going to generate leads for you. Yes, she is. And I can say she because all those digital marketers are women and they're awesome. But what's going to happen is that that's not what they're here to do. What they're here to do is make certain that you pull up in everyone's newsfeed, that people are coming to you going, oh my gosh, I'm seeing you everywhere. This is awesome. Making certain you look so professional out to the buyer and seller public, right? To that consumer that you're trying to attract. And because they are so darn good, that's why they generate leads. But leads has nothing to do with this. They're going to help you build your pipeline. They're going to help you build your sphere. They're going to have more people for you to connect with, but it's not about the leads. So remember, that value is your digital marketing specialist, and that value is that you don't have to do it yourself.
So I've got two sort of I got one direct testimony I want to share, but I also have another story from one of our Florida agents actually, who they were in the web presence program, which means a Google ad campaign and a custom Moxie site, and it was beautiful. And they actually got a referral from an agent, another Coldwell Banker agent up in the northeast of it was Massachusetts or Maine, one of those up there. And it was a perfect storm of all of the awesome things of DAP happening. So basically, this agent was looking for an agent down in Florida to send their client to, because they were basically snowbirding it. And first thing that happened was that our agent, when this agent up in the Northeast searched for agents, our agent came up in DAP because of the ad that was running. Their Google ad came up, and the agent from the Northeast clicked on our agent's site. So number one, the ad worked, right? The ad got the other agent on the site. Number two, the site was so impressive to them that they called our agent and gave them the referral, because it was a high-end client and their site was all luxury-based. And they said, they literally told her on the phone, I'm calling you because I found your site on Google and it impressed me, and you look like the sort of person I want my clients to work with. So again, that is the business prop. That is part of not the lead gen. That is part of the ads branding being effective and putting you out there to a point where you're getting referrals for high-end clients from other markets. So this other testimonial, though, is one of my favorite testimonials because it really encapsulates all of the beautiful things that can happen within Digital Accelerator. And I don't know if Susie's still on the call, but I want to give a shout out to Susie because this one is specifically one of her clients. And it says, it's from a client down in the Paradise region of Florida, and said, I would like to take a moment to extend gratitude for Susie. Susie has been assigned to my DAP program, and I am now smiling about my marketing campaigns again. After just 1 month and 2 meetings, Susie understands I like to stand out and prefer non-typical advertising. She has taken time to hear about the properties, troubleshoot issues I'm having, and most of all, Susie is creative in her marketing thoughts. Then this weekend, I'm having an open house, so she went an extra step to make certain I had a campaign out there for this weekend. What a professional. I'm finally excited about my marketing again and looking forward to what fun and effective items she and I can come up with over the next year. Thank you, Tracy, for your efforts to assign the right person for my marketing division. Please thank Susie for taking my programs into your heart. That whole thing is a glowing testimonial, but my favorite part of the whole thing is what she says in the beginning and towards the end. I am now smiling about my marketing again. That really encapsulates, it's not just digital marketing or lead gen or social media, it's marketing. This agent got excited about their marketing across the board because of the relationship with their digital marketer, the collaboration between them, and then the results that were coming from that. So that truly is the kind of experience and the power you can have in Digital Accelerator. We have clients who, like I said, stay in from day one all the way till now. Agents who love the digital marketer they're working with, who send Christmas cards. We had when Christmas came, we had agents sending Christmas cards, and it really is a lot of fun because I say this a lot, and I know that the digital marketers say it a lot, but really one of the most fulfilling parts of our job is the relationships we get to have. For me, with this digital marketing team and our marketing group, but also with our agents. Again, seeing people on these calls that I've known for years now. I've known Becky for, 6-7 years, and I'm using you because you've got your camera on. These are the relationships and the reasons why we love doing what we do. And to bring that to your marketing, to have you say, I'm excited about my marketing again. That's what we're here to do. So the last thing I'm going to end on before any questions or Tracy has anything is that if you're interested in Digital Accelerator, if you want Ignite, and we had someone do it, I saw on this call, while this call's been going on, you can simply go to the marketplace and purchase it in your cart right there. If you're thinking of doing an actual DAP program, you just go to this page and you scroll down to the bottom and the form is right there. And people say, well, why do I have to scroll? So that you can't say you didn't see any of this stuff. We have the programs there. We have all this information there. You have to scroll past that to get to this point. What's going to happen is you're going to fill this out, tell us what program you're interested in. Tracy's going to call you and do a kind of a vetting onboarding call to make sure it's a good fit. And she'll tell you this on the call. If she says, you know what, she'll tell you, I don't know if this is a good fit for you right now. Maybe you need to work on this or that a little bit. Maybe you already have the capabilities. Our goal is not, like we said, it's not a numbers game. It is to make sure that this is a good fit for you and your business. And if you guys determine it is and you're ready to get going, then Tracy and I speak and go, okay, who's going to be a good digital marketer for this person? I think this Dapper would be. We put you guys together based off of what we think will be a solid relationship and collaboration. So if you're interested, you just scroll down to the bottom of this page, fill out the form, and then we get rock and rolling from there. Any last questions? Tracy, any comments you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I think I said everything I needed to say, and if you decide you want to get going, you're going to hear me talk to you again. So we'll talk more. Okay.
Any other questions from anybody else?
No? That must mean we were so thorough.
We did everything. Did we talk about leads or no? Should we bring that up?
Did.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you guys for your time and being here. If you want, we're going to do these every month. So if you hopped in halfway through, these recordings always go on Schmidt Video Classroom by the end of the day today. This will be there, but we do these every month. You can always reach out to Tracy or myself individually if you have questions. But thank you guys for your time, and hope you have a great rest of the week. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.